Hello and welcome to our presentation of an initiative called I'm Also an Employer, a program to strengthen the financial capability of the domestic workers. Let us make every young man and woman say, I'm also an employer with pride. In India, more than 2.5 million people are working as domestic workers, though the data is a bit old. 7 million is the number of domestic workers according to some NGO sources. And the same number has been quoted as 4.2 million by International Labour Organization. The point to be driven is a large number of women are working as domestic workers, and 2/3 of these domestic workforce lives in urban India, and a significant part of this workforce are women. In tier 1 city like Mumbai, a domestic worker earns around 2,000 to 5,000 per month. The following occupations are treated as domestic workers: housemaid, servant, cook, gardener, gatekeeper, chowkidar, watchman, governance, the babysitters, drivers, and many others. It gives us an idea that most of us, middle class and upper middle class, depend on this important stakeholder of a society to make our life comfortable. However, the domestic workers, it has been seen, fare worse in comparison to other employed in informal sector. These domestic workers make our life comfortable, but they fare worse than other people working in the informal sector. In fact, the female domestic workers in the urban areas earn almost half the wages of their peers in the informal sector. We can see that in rural India, it is the male gets 169 per day on average, whereas a woman worker gets 64. Whereas in other informal sector, it is 121. The same is the case in urban areas too. That a woman worker in urban area, the domestic woman employee, gets around 50% of what other informal. And these women make our life comfortable. What will happen to them when they reach the retirement age? Most of us employ at a home and they make our life comfortable. However, we forget that as an employer, we just give salary or wage and don't bother about the following: pension, provident fund, mediclaim, insurance, even annual leave. We forget our duties as employer, but we ask for these benefits from our employer. Now we have started demanding the 7th pay commission too. Keeping this as a backdrop, we at XIM, a group of students and faculty, started creating awareness among the faculty members and MBA students and the neighboring society. We made presentations at some relevant meetings and seminars. However, our reach is small. We could not make necessary impact, though we created awareness in a smaller community. Our action research, our pilot survey has shown that the financial needs of these people are to meet the day-to-day expenses. They need some money for medical expenses, They need some money for education expenses for the kids. In fact, most of them have kids who are studying in schools and even colleges. They also need some money to meet the social obligations. They of course require retirement, but they don't think about it with the present income. So our question was, can we use the market mechanism to provide at least these two medical expenses in the retirement savings? Interestingly, our observation was that unlike the middle class and upper middle class, they are not very much bothered about creating an insurance to transfer or create wealth for their dependent, but they are interested in more in a retirement saving so that they will not depend on their son or daughter when they reach their retirement age. So let us take one step and create a small corpus for the future so that she can earn a pension when she retires. Our model is employer and employee together contribute money toward the bank account. Our stress is the employer. The employer, besides paying money to the domestic help, is expected to contribute a small percentage of additional amount to this bank account. And this savings can go towards the pension fund or mediclaim or insurance. An employee will start, the domestic worker will get pension the moment she reaches the retirement age. However, the model will be successful if we can motivate the employers to contribute towards the mediclaim and pension benefits of the domestic helper rather than making the domestic help herself to contribute a part of her present saving, present income. So the crux is the present employer, like you and I, have to contribute such an amount of money over and above what we pay towards this additional financial inclusion or financial security fund. The key success factor is that not to treat this "I'm also an employer" as another marketing slogan, but it has to be treated as a means of revolution. A revolution where every person who employs a woman at home realizes the responsibilities of being an employer and contributes toward the social security of that domestic help. To create such big revolutions, we need large players like large insurance companies or banks to join hands, and larger number of players. And this is possible provided big company like yours take this responsibility. Pictorial representation. So, it's our responsibility to create certain mechanism whereby we can make every young man and woman say with pride, "I'm also an employer." Would you like to take charge of this revolution? It's your call. Thank you very much.